On. On.
Affirmative.
Opening. Closing.
Greetings.
Yes, I'm here.
I'm here.
Thank you, Commander. Standing by. Charging frameshift drive. Vectors.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 92% of maximum.
Scanning for information.
There are 16 bodies in this system. You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 8 rocky bodies, 4 icy bodies in this system.
Leaving system.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 92% of maximum.
Scanning.
There are 17 bodies in this system. You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 4. Rocky bodies, 8 icy bodies, 2 Class 1 gas giants, and 1 Class 3 gas giant in this system. You have fully mapped this body. Nicely done, Commander. You gain the efficiency bonus. Ring B has been mapped. You have mapped Ring A. You have fully mapped this body. Nicely done, Commander. You gain the efficiency bonus. You have fully mapped this body. Nicely done, Commander. You gain the efficiency bonus.
70%. My name is Kate. How can I help? Cup of tea? Game of cards? You need me to shoot anything in the face repeatedly with a massive laser? That's my favourite thing, actually.
You have fully mapped this body. Nicely done, Commander. You gain the efficiency bonus. The B-ring has been mapped. The A-ring has been mapped. You have fully mapped this body. Nicely done. You gain the efficiency bonus. You have fully mapped this body. Nicely done. You gain the efficiency bonus. You have discovered geological surface features on this planet.
Acknowledged. Standby for launch. Crew to fighter bay. That's already done. That's affirmative, Commander.
Wanna play Slot My Sidewinder?
Okay, Commander. On. Acknowledged, Commander.
I do apologise. I left my microphone off again. If you're still here, hello GPlay69. Like I said, I do apologise. Peachy, how you going? Welcome to the stream. Currently trying to hunt down geologicals and having a whole lot of not much luck at all. Not much better actually. Part of the reason I'm playing this. I've had a very busy day. Got some stuff done that needed to be done. But unfortunately, didn't get everything done. I do hope things improve for you. It's never a good way to feel. Yep, that it does. I'm actually on a disability pension, which is why sometimes I manage to get online during the day, but I do a lot of volunteer work. And tomorrow is one of the days where I will be basically from about 9 in the morning till about 5 in the afternoon helping out at a food bank. At least that's the plan, but we see how that goes. Oh. Is that something? Yep. $2,500 credits. Well, it looks like I've already discovered these elsewhere, so there's not a lot of point in being here. Well, what I was looking for was iron magma, and it's giving me silicate magma, so yeah, disappointments. I haven't had any issues with Odyssey at all. I mean, I did notice some flicker, and earlier today I found a gravitational anomaly, i.e. floating rocks. Sorry I didn't respond earlier, G-Plays. I did actually respond earlier, but I had the microphone on mute. Because I'm a doofus. Yeah, just a few rocks, unfortunately, so it wasn't as bad as the real Pandora. No, no, no. I think they're in the permit lock zones. My theory is that the Pilots Federation doesn't let us enter these unknown permit areas because that's where there's slated to be other civilizations within the galaxy. And they either haven't finished them yet or just don't want us accessing them yet. And I think the discovery of Raxler is what's actually going to let everything out as such. Now, 4D was what I wanted to have a look at. Hi, Quiet Me Bear. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, you need to sleep. We all do at some point. I just spend most of my time yawning instead of sleeping. I don't know about replace, but they make it easier to go without, at least temporarily. Yep. Quiet My Bear, I believe we do need to let you know that you don't have to explore for that long. My record was 2 hours sleep in 72. On a trail. Really quiet. Or my, whichever you prefer. I understand that problem. I've got 2 partially collapsed discs and a step in my lower spine, amongst other problems. And sometimes the only thing I can do to alleviate it is to try and distract myself. Sciatica is a way of life. And I recently stopped taking the pain meds that I was on because they were no longer effective. When I say recently, it's probably about 3-4 months ago now. Unfortunately, there's nothing else they can give me. Yep. No, well, I was on fentanyl patches at one point. I was taking 4 times the recommended dose of codeine at one stage. I've been on basically the same pain medication they give to stage 4 cancer patients and get no relief.
You have fully mapped this body. Nicely done. You gain the efficiency
Bacterial.
bonus. You have discovered
Fonticulua.
biological surface
Let's have a look and see
features
if we
on
can
this
find
planet.
something today. Actually, at one stage I was contemplating seeing if they would sever my spine, because I figured if I couldn't feel the pain, anything was better than what I was going through. But then I did a pain management course and it kind of changed my outlook on it. So my pain management consists of all the shit that I learned while I was on the pain management course. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean that it's not there anymore. It just means that you've got to somehow cope with it. I could go through the list of the medical problems I've had over the last 5 years, but yeah, I'm not going to be streaming for that long tonight. Deploy fighter.
Stand by for launch. Launch. That's already done.
Main belt. In Sol, the area between Mars and Jupiter, where most
Oh,
of
that
the
was quick.
asteroids in the solar system can be found. That is the main belt.
Let's see if these are a new one. Yeah, well, my dad didn't have any major issues with his back, thankfully. We've got a new one. Mistress. We got yellow. Teal. Amethyst.
Executing now.
Cancel. Stop all commands. Yeah, there is always a focus on that because depression and pain basically work nicely in a cycle. We were taught techniques for relaxation and coping mechanisms when you get spikes and stuff like that. I've heard of other pain management courses where the focus is how much pain medication can we give you and how can we get the pain levels down to virtually zero. I've also mentally rescaled my pain, so what used to be a 10 for me is probably now a 4 or 5, so an average day. Come on, stop. Landing gear, please.
Ready to head out from the SRE?
Yes.
There is something of interest within 50 kilometers of the ship.
Alright, my bear. Look, I'm quite happy to discuss anything if anybody wants to have a chat. I know that you have good days and bad days. Enjoy your rest. Hopefully it goes well for you, and we'll see you online next time.
Fine.
Let's see if this is anything fun and interesting. I wonder if the colour actually matches what it says it is. Should get a screenshot. It's a new discovery. One moment. Select that. Go 500 meters away from the ship. 650. Will do. I'm going from memory here. I believe it was 500 last time, and I wasn't able to find anything close enough. Look at that. They do look kind of cool. Especially the little ones. I just wish we could create recipes for space mushrooms. "2020 memory," yeah. Remember most things for about 20 minutes and that's it, I'm done. I've actually started getting my darling wife to text me when she wants something from the shop, because I keep forgetting to buy it. That's where lists come in handy. Unfortunately, I don't like making lists.
No, you leave the list at home.
Oh, there's the other thing. I forget to take the list. Yay me. Alright, back to the ship. I'm not going to bother with the bacterial ones. They are too hard to find. And that's possibly one there. No. Oops.
The hull is at 80%.
Thankfully, the hull will be repaired when I dock. Time to make like a tree and get the flock out of here. I mean, yeah, alright. Next system en route.
System destination locked.
Engage Super Cruise.
That's a negative.
Finally. Engage Super Cruise.
Acknowledged.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Commander.
No, I've been awake so far today for about 17 hours. Engage FSD.
Charging frameshift drive.
Oh, no you're not. I average 2 to 3 hours a night. Sometimes it's a little more, but usually it's around that. At one stage I was sleeping one night out of 3, so I'm doing okay. Engage FSD.
Heard. Executing now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Full impulse.
Full impulse.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 90% of maximum.
Gathering information. Cartography updated.
There are 2 bodies in this system. You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered in this system.
Yeah, today I spent most of the day building 2 door frames for the cat run that we've got to build so that our cats can go outside without having the risk of encountering an automobile.
Computing. The rules of the quantum world mean that we can process information much faster than is possible using the computers we use now.
Nope. Unfortunately, they're all working.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 90% of maximum.
Stand by. Scanning.
They're available on Sunday, but we've got heavy rain forecast for all of Sunday.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered in this system. There is 1 body in this system.
But if I don't get anything done, if it does rain, if it does rain on Sunday, then I've got my nephew coming over Monday, Tuesday. You wouldn't be able to go home anyway. Because we're a red zone. Oh, believe me, down here, it's, well, up here, down here. All depends on your point of view.
The system's primary star is scoopable.
We're going
Fuel
down to, I
reserves are
think,
at
2 or 3 degrees.
88% of maximum.
No. But because we're part of New South Wales, Victoria, sorry, because we have to go through New South Wales to get to Victoria, or vice versa. If you come to the ACT, you're not allowed to go down to Victoria. Because New South Wales has so many infections. So we're lumped in with them even though we're doing the right thing.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system.
But there's no accounting for logic.
You have discovered 1 Class 1 gas giant.
The issue is a lot of people from Sydney come down to Canberra or around in surrounding areas, especially at this time of year, given that it's snow season. Yeah, that's why it was created here, because Sydney and Melbourne kept saying that they wanted to be the capitals, so they couldn't agree on it, so the rest of the state said, well, we'll put it between the 2 then. Because if the capital had been Sydney, then Victoria wouldn't have become part of the Australian Commonwealth.
Bodies in this system.
And vice versa. If Melbourne had become the capital. It's too far away from everything. The theory went that there was a train line that went through Canberra down to Melbourne, but it actually bypasses us. I reckon I should have put it in Tassie. That's an interesting looking world. Make me a sec. It's all good. There's really only two terms that I will not have used on a regular basis. I can understand the occasional slip up, but yeah. Pretty much. I don't like, or I should say two types of terms. Certain full letter descriptions of body parts and racial slurs. Look, I understand people use them, and that's not really an issue for me most of the time. It's just something that I don't use. No, it's not appropriate. Mind you, I think it's not appropriate for most people to use. No.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 2.
But there's some terms that my dad used to use, but that was because when he was young, he actually hung around with a lot of people of Aboriginal descent, and that was how they referred to themselves, so he did too. He lived out on a farm in country South Australia, and a lot of the farm workers were people of an Aboriginal background.
Fuel reserves are at 92% of maximum.
But they're words I would never ever use to a person of Aboriginal descent. It's just not something I would do.
There are 9 bodies in this system.
And I remember the old kids' poem, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Yeah, they've fallen into disuse, and that's the way they should be. I mean, there was a particular cheese that was around, and they're renaming it, or have renamed it, because its name could be seen as being offensive by people of a particular generation.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system.
Oh, definitely.
You have discovered 2
If you're nice to
high
everybody,
metal content and 6
then there shouldn't be a problem.
bodies in this system.
Course adjustments.
The
I mean, I
system's
find...
primary
Oh,
star is scoopable. Fuel reserves
big
are
white
at
one.
92% of maximum.
Scanning.
Chances are there's not going to be anything around it, because there usually isn't with the large whites.
There are 10 bodies in this system.
Just to prove me wrong. There's nothing wrong with shooting shit. It's like with Nick Lambert's stream. I love innuendo. I think it's great and it's funny and it's good fun without being crude. I think that's a big thing. I don't mind rudeness. I don't like crudeness. Get rid of the asteroids. Gas giant out here somewhere. It's not around there. There it is. Yeah. Well, I too am a fan of the Carry On movies. Because, yes, they're a bit risque, but they very, very rarely came out with anything that was absolutely, that was rude. Definitely rude. It's amazing how much fun you can have not playing ED while you've got it running on your computer.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this
Well, you can do
system.
what I do, which is play the game and talk to people at the same time.
6 rocky bodies.
1
class 4 gas
I think
giant.
personally that
And
Elite Dangerous
in this
is one of, if not the best, just chatting games.
Adjusting for jump.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 90% of maximum.
The only thing I want to do is figure out a way that I can either mount an iPad or something. Oh,
Scanning now.
binaries.
There are 5 bodies in this system.
We've got A, B, C, and D as stars. There's a gas giant here somewhere. It's just something I have to do. Whoop, someone's in trouble. Yeah, we'll see. At the moment I've got a second monitor sitting there, but the second monitor I've got to turn to the right away from the main screen that I'm watching. So what I want to do is set it up directly in front of me so that I can just look straight down and chat. That's the plan, eventually.
Oh, 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 that's hot. That's hot.
Oh, okay. Oops. I thought I was out of the heat zone. No, it was because I was taking the screenshot. No, it's all my fault. I've had one of those ones where the two stars are really close together, where I've actually come out in the exclusion zone of the secondary star because they were so close together. So the primary is directly in front of me, and I've been thrown out of not just frame shift but also out of Super Cruise, and suddenly I'm overheating. Yeah, there's something in the system. There we go, gas giant. Now we're just going to find it. Well, it's not around D. It's not around C, which means it's probably around A and D. There it is. Oh no, it's around all four of them.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 1 Class 1 gas giant in this system.
Yep. Oh, there's a place called Plater's Tyranny. Right, it's in the Hilla system. And if you come in on the right angle from the wrong side of the rings, with Plater's Tyranny as your focus, you can actually come through the rings and end up on the other side of Plater's Tyranny, or even inside the station. Have a quick look and see if I can find it.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 91% of maximum.
Completing system scan. Standby. Gathering information. Cartography has now been updated.
There are 19 bodies in this system.
Back to a normal system, or at least a relatively normal system. No, definitely not an avoid station. One of the streamers, Joe Plater, is actually the voice for the station. Go. Just show the first 30 seconds of this. So this is what you can do at this one. How's that for an incoming? So that's the Tyranny Warp. Hello, Percy Joe. You going to say hello? So this is my main code. What is it? You want attention. Well, too bad. I'm playing a game. You can sit there if you're going to be quiet. I wish I could teach you to meow on command. That would be funny. This one's... because we got him at 4 weeks, he is very much a snuggly cat. I don't know if you can hear it through the stream at the moment, but he's purring quite loudly. Yeah, he's decided he wants to lay upside down. Show you what I mean. See? What's the matter? What you kill? So yeah, he's got his button here. Foot. Stop pushing the microphone away. He's been a bit of a fuddy-duddy tonight. But yeah, he's got this thing for laying upside down. I can feel him purring now. That's it. All I'm useful for, rubbing the belly. Isn't it? As long as you don't fart, you're okay. Yeah, so he's completely upside down now. I mean, I've never known a cat to do it, but... Say hello, Percy.
Hi there, I am Kate. I'm based on technology reporter and author
So,
Kate
completely
Russell,
upside down.
and I am a digital
Purring away.
version, parcelled up to keep you company out in space. So, where are you taking me?
Oh, almost always silent but deadly.
I'm pretty sure that in human form, I'd most definitely be a geek.
Yeah, my cat is an absolute nut. Are you going to move? Or are we just going to stare at your bum? Percy. Oh, that's not Percy, by the way. That's the ship's cat. A voice pack that you can get with HCS, which, in my case, also happens to be named Percy. Oh dear. And yeah, this is the one that had the altercation with the car about 5-6 weeks ago. Actually, it's about 7 weeks ago now. Yeah, apparently you can interact with it. So if I go feed the cat,
Affirmative, Commander.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system.
Right.
You have discovered
This is a fairly classic
high metal
Percy pose.
content, 14 icy bodies, and 3 Class 1 gas giants.
Jumping to next system.
The system's primary
yeah.
star is scoopable. Fuel
He's weird.
reserves are at 89% of maximum.
Scanning for information.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered, in this system,
Engage FSD.
there is one body in this system.
Charging frameshift drive.
Deploy heatsink.
Okay, executing now.
Restock heatsink.
Course adjustments.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 87% of maximum.
Scanning now.
There are 2 bodies in this system. You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered, in this system,
Engage FSD.
Charging frameshift drive.
It's alright, it'll only go with my other hand.
Leaving system.
So I've got one hand to control the game.
the system's primary star is scoopable.
Luckily I've got voice attack.
Reserves are at 81% of maximum.
Scanning.
There are 22 bodies
Three-quarter
in this
impulse.
system.
3/4 impulse.
I am engaging engines at
Yep, he's decided to move on. Good. I mean, oh, well, at least I get to scan the system without having to try and manipulate a cat at the same time. Yeah, technically, it's my wife's cat. Yeah, definitely. No, my darling dog is a little bit large to get onto my lap, though he doesn't think so. He's a Kelpie, but he's a very large Kelpie. So in size, he's pretty close to a Labrador.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system.
Put the cat out.
You have
Just in for a
discovered
jump.
in this system. The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 94% of maximum.
To take a break shortly, grab a drink, etc. I shall put the slideshow on while I'm doing so.
There are 9 bodies in this system.
Scan this system first. Oh no, it's just because I've been awake. It's 4 o'clock this morning. It's coming up to 10 o'clock, so... Not that I need to sleep, but I definitely need to rest. And whilst Elite Dangerous can be relaxing, it's not... what's the word I'm looking for? It's not doing nothing. Yeah, I think I'll go for another iced coffee. That usually helps me get ready for bed. I know that sounds weird, but caffeine helps me sleep sometimes. No, knots in shoulders. I did my shoulders, my right shoulder on Tuesday. It has not been comfortable.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 7 icy bodies, and in this system...
Yeah, and caffeine increases your absorption of certain nutrients as well. Which is why the combination of milk and coffee won't necessarily keep you awake. If you're doing a long drive, having a coffee isn't as good as having an apple. Anyway, I shall return shortly. Get rid of the starting soon off there. And, yeah, just going to go and grab a drink, stretch the legs. I shall return soon.
Affirmative.
And I'm back. Animals. Cats want a small treat, so oh well, they're happy now. Yes.
Vectors.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 89% of maximum.
Okay, I'm on it.
No, one drink I really like when I'm very tired but having trouble
45
sleeping.
bodies in this
It's a
system.
busy system, this one. Is called Horlicks, which is a malt-based drink that you have with warm milk. Now, before I forget, because I nearly did. You. No, I do have a second heatsink with extended ammo. Just about everything else on this is done with lightweight, except for the jump drive, obviously.
Heat sinks refilled.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Commander.
So I've got six heat sinks to use should I need them. The plan is to not need them. Yeah, that's got the asteroids out of the way. Yeah. Yes, I did actually remember to turn the microphone back on. It's a very dark, icy body. I don't even want to think about how far away these things are. They're just on the wrong side of the star. Oh well. Let's have a look through the iciness and see if there's anything interesting. Geologicals. More geologicals. Still more geologicals. Yeah, well, in space, a stone's throw is effectively infinite. unless influenced by a gravitational field, of course. There's got to be a gas giant there somewhere. Oh, maybe not. But this is the problem. An ice giant, effectively. I mean, 28 plus Earth masses is quite big for an ice ball.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system.
Need to look at the system map on
You
this
have
one.
discovered 34 icy bodies, 4 Class 1 gas giants, 2 Class 2 gas giants.
Yeah, so there's a fairly
Class 3
large
gas giant
ice
in
ball
this
there.
system.
Yeah, so 27 and a quarter, roughly, Earth masses. Radius of 20,000 kilometers. Look at that atmospheric pressure. 66,700. Ouch. Definitely an anomaly. Shields are full. I've landed on a 1G planet and I hate to think what a 26,000 atmospheres of pressure would be like on it.
Jumping to next system.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 86.
In all honesty, I think that's part of the reason why they're not allowing people to go onto gas giants, is because you'd have to have an internal exclusion zone, where if the air
Scanning
pressure
for
got too high,
information.
you'd be in too much trouble.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered, in this system, there is one body in this
Well, it's not
system.
just a suit. The ship itself would just crumple. So yeah, the only issue the Beluga has as an explorer is that it tends to get a little warm. But the thing is, I don't know if it's canon or not.
Course adjustments.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 90%
Yep.
of maximum.
And the Guardians would be hunting us down actively.
Sure.
There are 16 bodies in this system.
But yeah, the Super Cruise to me seems like the Alcubierre bubble. But the FSD is something different. I think there's a lot of people that would like to find something that could be restarted with the Guardians. What I'd like to do is find a space station that's got something other than humans in control of it. Because given the amount of life that we're now finding out in the galaxy, you can't say that there's no other intelligent life out there. Aliens in human suits, yeah. Doing Eggers from Men in Black. Oh, well, I certainly wouldn't want to be dealing with people. We're mean. I mean that in the nicest possible way, of course.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 2 high metal content, 1 rocky body, 5 icy bodies, 2 class 1 gas giants, 2 class 3 gas giants in this system.
That's an interesting looking planet. 2G. No. Not tonight. Too tired for a high G landing. Next system en route.
Selecting next system en route.
Engage FSD.
Charging frameshift drive.
The system's primary star
And the
is
biggest problem
capable.
with the Thargoids is
Your
that
reserves are at 93.
it was sort of mutual dislike from the beginning.
I'm onto it.
There are 18 bodies in this system.
Scan this one, see if there's anything interesting around. Oh, no, but we found alien life on there and started shooting at it. I mean, it's a nice way of saying hello. Oh yeah, the barnacle systems. We were stealing meta alloys. I don't know if you know about what we did to the Thargoids that we managed to capture. Whether they be in this ship or just the entity themselves. I think it was Thargoid scouts from memory. But that's how he was developed the frameshift drive. The one that allows interstellar travel as opposed to intra-systems travel.
Standing by.
Greetings.
Standing by.
If you go to I think it's in the codex, it's called INRA, and there's actually a whole series of sites that you can go to find out what we did. We being human beings in general, as opposed to individuals like ourselves. But yeah, we were using a biological system to try and break through.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 8 rocky bodies, 7 icy bodies, 1 Class 3 gas giant, and, in this system,
There you go.
We received a very exciting delivery today. Pieces of recovered Thargoid technology, even fragments of spacecraft. Most of the samples are damaged, but we should still be able to put them to good use. Thargoid technology is, in many respects, far more advanced than our own. Understanding it could open up all kinds of possibilities and rapidly accelerate our own development. Space travel, energy, weapons, even medicine. The applications are potentially limitless. I suspect there's a key discovery to be made, one that will open up the aliens' technology to us. Who knows? Perhaps I'll be the one to make it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. There's lots of work to be done before we can start popping champagne corks. I've given the research teams their assignments. Let's see what they can find out.
Right, this one's the one.
I don't have long. Once they realize I'm gone and the data's been copied, they'll send their attack dogs after me. I know they will. But someone needs to show the galaxy what the INRA really is. What it's doing. What it's hiding. I'm sorry for the part I played in this. Truly. I was a researcher at a facility in the Hermitage 4A system exploring agricultural applications of Thargoid-derived technology. The lab was owned by the INRA. Publicly, the INRA likes to emphasize the whole altruistic cooperative thing, but in recent years it's become much more focused on weapons testing and manufacture. Believe me, it's a military contractor in all but name. The nature of my field was the study of disease-resistant crops, microproteins, that sort of thing. I was getting good results, even if my superiors took no notice. Then everything changed. I was running a bunch of control experiments, just trying a few things out, really. It was an afterthought. It wasn't even related to the main body of my work. The results were interesting. I didn't think they were particularly significant, but something made me take it directly to one of the INRA guys. I didn't want to go to Dr. Prince. She'd always been pretty dismissive of my work. I would give anything to be able to undo that decision. Anything. All my equipment and samples were whisked off to some remote facility. Later I found out it had been taken to a weapons testing site in the Alnath A2AA system. My research was used as the basis of a new superweapon designed to destroy the Thargoids. I heard they experimented on live captives. I doubt any of it was strictly legal. It certainly wasn't ethical. To the public, the INRA is a symbol of all that is possible when superpowers set aside the differences and work together. Well, it might have started off like that, but it's something very different now. Progress at any cost. Might makes right. All our worst impulses channeled into an unaccountable organization focused solely on making bigger and more powerful weapons. Bigger and more powerful weapons. God. If you find this, if someone finds this, make sure it gets out. Please. It's time people knew the truth.
There you go. That's just a couple of them. There's actually about 8 different bases, I think it is, for INRA. But certainly interesting. And it's in-game lore, so... Yep. In the bases, you've actually got Thargoid blood and all this sort of stuff over the ground.
Vectors.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 94% of maximum.
Acknowledged.
And then you've got the generation ships, which are in some ways even scarier, because it's stories of, well, they've only found one generation ship that I'm aware of with people that were okay, and even they ended up getting sick because they encountered an illness that had been through human space, but that they themselves had never encountered. But yeah, if it's done right, it's not so bad.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 1 high metal content.
Oh,
and
agreed. And
4
that's actually what they ended up doing. But the
system.
problem is that the virus that they picked up was transmitted by pirates. It was something they hadn't encountered, so they weren't able to find a treatment or a vaccine that would prevent it from being transmitted to other people. And because they'd been isolated from human society for hundreds of years, this particular strain was quite virulent when they encountered it. They were able to treat the symptoms but not stop the disease, is basically what it came down to. So they asked for help from the Pilots Federation.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 91% of maximum.
Completing system scan.
There are 2 bodies in this system. You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 1 icy body in this system.
I hit play again.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 89% of maximum.
Scanning now.
There are 12 bodies in this system.
There we go. So I usually try to get rid of the asteroids first. No worries. There you are.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 7 icy bodies. 1 Class 1 gas giant in this system.
Adjusting for jump.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 99% of maximum.
As you wish.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered, in this system, there is one body in this system.
Woohoo! Neutron jump.
Leaving system.
The system's primary star is not scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 90% of maximum.
Scanning.
Oh, now that's a much nicer system.
There are 3 bodies in this system. You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 1
Have you done neutron
high
jumping
metal
yet,
content in this
Peachy?
system.
Look at that, it used to look like a marshmallow. This is screenshot worthy. So yeah, my method is I go in at less than 20 megameters per second. Whoop, that was too quick. Quite a narrow jet this one.
Alright, alright.
Floor it. And then we head out. So the next jump is 208 light years away. I mean, the actual jump animation is exactly the same, unless I've changed something. I haven't done a neutron jump probably in 3 weeks.
Jumping to next system.
The system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 81% of maximum.
Scanning.
There are 19 bodies in this system.
200 light years is actually a short jump on an Explorer. For a neutron jump. Basically what you get is 4 times your normal range in jump. So for me to go back to where that neutron was would take 4 jumps. So it does save you some time. Looks like pretty much everything is around here. I'm not sure what the actual maximum is. I've known of people that fly with a 78 light year jump range, which means they get just over 300 on a neutron jump. But that's an Explorer build, so they would have slightly more in their system than what you could possibly get from a maximum Anaconda jump. Yeah, okay.
As you wish.
There's a Traveller build and an Explorer build. A Traveller build is all about jump range. That's all that matters. You're not interested in scanning stars. You're not interested in having a large fuel scoop. It's just about getting the, large fuel tank. It's just about getting the maximum jump range you can from a single jump. Whereas an Explorer build, you've got all your optional extras, your SRV, your fighter bays, all of the probing gear, all that sort of stuff. And you'd have some level of thrusters so that you can land on a planet, whereas a pure travelling build, you could get away with the minimum thrust. You don't need boost if you're not going down onto planetary surfaces if you're doing exploration. Yeah, explorers would use some of their optional slots, and some of the things that you put in there can't be engineered, so they'll weigh a certain amount. Yep. I mean, it's a travelling build. All you really need is your thrusters and FSD, enough fuel to make a single jump, and a fuel scoop if you're going to do more than one jump at a time. Everything else is lightweight, minimal spec.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 10 high metal content, 6
If
icy
your only
bodies,
focus is
and
jump range,
in this system,
it's not even good for travel. Because you have to scoop at every single star.
the system's primary star is scoopable. Fuel reserves are at 86% of maximum.
There's always some level of compromise that you need to make.
Okay, here you go.
There are 23 bodies in this system.
For me, for exploration, anything over 50 light years, you miss too much. Well, I should say, I work on between 50 and 55 light years range for my exploration vessels. I do have a Crate Phantom set up with I think it's 60, 65, something around there. But that one is purely for travelling. It doesn't even have an SRV in it because I didn't want to spend the money to do the engineering. Well, money, materials. Yeah, pretty much. It's like, can you lead your ship? No. Why not? It just doesn't work. You'd be able to land the ship, but you wouldn't want to land on a planetary surface because your thrust would be so underpowered and engineered to be lightweight. Your travel speed is incredibly slow. Your turning rate is absolutely useless. But that's part of the reason I actually don't like the Anaconda, is it handles like a brick, and it's not even a fun brick. T10 is a purpose-built ship. Right? It's all about sitting there and shooting things without actually having to aim.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 12 high metal content, 1 rocky body, and
one thing that can be fun in
this system.
In a T10 is hunting Thargoid scouts, the small ships. Because what you do is you equip yourself with all the turrets, maximum size turrets of whatever weapon you want to use, because the small ships are not immune to human weapons, and basically sit there and shoot them as they fly past you. I was flying a T10 miner with 3 turrets on it for defense, and basically I'd continue mining while my turrets are taking out the pirates. The best thing about the T10 is it looks awesome. It's the 70s muscle car of Elite Dangerous. absolutely pointless.
Scanning
Guzzles
now.
the fuel like nothing else. But it's got a spoiler and it looks cool.
There are 12 bodies in this system.
And when it comes to landing and stuff like that, they actually do handle reasonably well as long as you've got good thrusters. Some of them are nice. I've got the
You have discovered a terraformable high metal content world. You have
Well,
discovered a terraformable high metal content world, and it can be worth approximately 600,000 credits when scanned and mapped. You have found a terraformable high metal content world.
I've got the raider kits for my Corvette and my cutter.
You have found a terraformable high metal content world, and it can be worth approximately 600,000 credits when scanned and mapped.
See if I can get this icy world scanned. There it is.
You have discovered all the planetary bodies in this system. You have discovered 3 high metal content, 4 terraformable high metal content, 1 rocky body, and 3 icy bodies in this system.
Alright, system map. Alright, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of a kind. So I might scan those next time. I'm just gonna jump out of the main menu. I think that's what I've got on there. Yeah, so you get the different layouts of stuff at the front. Pretend wings. spikes, more spikes, and yet more spikes. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's basically what they're for. But yeah, the Corvette's got the best ones though. Especially up the front. Alright, so we'll get it so that we can actually see the front thing. We got that one. The bulldog. And then that one. This one here, you can actually use it to aim. Like the fins down the center on the top line up perfectly with the little yellow dot. So if I remember rightly, it's, yeah, this one plus, oh, doesn't matter this one anyway. That one and that one, you basically, they all look like fins. Yeah, it gives you crosshairs. I think it's great. The other thing they give you is camo paint jobs. Anyway, that'll be me for this evening. Thank you very much for watching. It's not cheating. I mean, you can have that little dot in the screen even when you're using HOTAS and whatever, so anyway. Would you like me to see if there's somebody else to raid, or are you going to call it quits for this evening? Sure. I'll see who we can find. Oh, look, Psychic's online.
How you doing, my love? It's